From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Federal party leaders are still out on the campaign trail with just a weekend to go until Canadians head to polls to elect their next government. Liberal leader Mark Carney took focus on U.S. tariff threats, reiterating his party's pledge to build an all-in-Canada auto manufacturing network using domestic steel, aluminum, and critical minerals. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is campaigning in Liberal-leaning ridings in the Greater Toronto area, saying he fears the Liberals will take office and implement large budget cuts reminiscent of the party's cuts in the 90s. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre began his day with a press conference in Saskatoon before traveling to hold a rally in Nanoose Bay, BC. Recent polls suggest ridings in both areas are leaning conservative. A political scientist at the University of Saskatchewan says the federal party leader campaign stops in this final phase of the election are showing each leader's hand. Election day is on Monday. The federal government is posting a budget deficit of $19.3 billion for the April to February period of the 2024 to 25 fiscal year. That is compared to the deficit of $17.3 billion reported for the same period of the last fiscal year. The Finance Department's monthly fiscal monitor shows government revenue for the period totaled $449.8 billion, an increase from a year earlier helped by all parts of the economy. Public debt charges totaled $49.3 billion, up from last year. Canada's envoy to the Vatican says Pope Francis's funeral will unite a rare range of humanity. Canada's ambassador to the Holy See says the Pope made a deliberate choice to visit Canada in 2022 to help advance reconciliation with Indigenous peoples.
There is a special relation between this Pope and Canada, between this Pope and our Indigenous community. There certainly is a lot of meaning for Canada. It was important that there would be a delegation here, and there is.
Joyce Napier says the Pope used his platform to hear directly from people suffering in places like Gaza and advocate for them. The Pope will be laid to rest tomorrow at a gathering of a range of nationalities and viewpoints that few people could bring together. And liquidation sales at Hudson's Bay's 6 remaining stores are underway with markdowns of up to 70%. Manitoba Premier Wab Canoe says Hudson's Bay artifacts should be given to the public rather than put up for auction. Canoe says the items held by Canada's oldest company are part of Canadian and Indigenous history, echoing the concerns of archival institutions, governments, and Indigenous groups.
We know that these things are in the public interest, so why doesn't HBC just give them to the public? Why do we have to intervene to pay money to an American hedge fund or somebody else who's going to be in the lineup of creditors?
Canada's oldest company is working toward an auction for its total over 4,000 art pieces and artifacts, as well as the 355-year-old royal charter that launched the company. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Bell Centre is sure to be electric tonight as the Montreal Canadiens entertain the Washington Capitals in NHL playoff action. It will be their first home playoff game with full attendance since 2017. The Canadiens are in the same position as the Edmonton Oilers, trying to avoid a 0-3 series deficit heading into its home game against the Los Angeles Kings. Oilers' backup goalie Calvin Pickard gets the start after replacing Stuart Skinner in the third period of a 6-2 loss in Game 2 in LA. Edmonton captain Connor McDavid says he has a lot of trust in Pickard.
He's been solid for us, coming in at big moments, and did it last year in the playoffs as well. So obviously a guy we got a lot of faith in, and I expect him to play great tonight.
Elsewhere, the New Jersey Devils host the Carolina Hurricanes. And in MLB action, the Toronto Blue Jays try to snap a 5-game losing skid tonight when they visit the New York Yankees. The slump includes a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Houston Astros. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.